Guys, good morning. This is Mo here. And guys, today we're going to talk about the best side hustle that you can have for 2025. As you guys already know, this economy is tumbling. Right now, there's really no jobs. There's no great business opportunity. There's really nothing going on. And my recommendation right now for 2025 is to learn a new skill. All right, guys. So today I'm going to talk to you about something called futures. All right, and it's futures trading. If you haven't heard of futures, it's pretty simple, guys. All you're doing is you are trading a contract, right? So what kind of contracts are you trading? Well, you could be trading something like, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P 500. Guys, my thing is to learn how to trade futures trading. This is not like stocks, okay? So stocks are basically you're buying a share in a company and you're hoping that it goes up. With futures trading, you make money when the market's going up and when the market is going down. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, well, I have no idea. I know nothing about trading. I've never traded before. Every time I have attempted to learn how to trade, I haven't been successful. So, the good news is, guys, I have created a special algorithm, guys, a special tool that will basically tell you when to get into these trades safely. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to feel, hesitant, you don't have to feel concerned about, getting into these trades. You can feel confident, right, guys? So in this video today, I'm going to reveal to you guys the tool that I've created. I'm going to show you how I'm able to go into these trades and how I'm able to get into these trades within 15 minutes or less, and how I'm able to exit the trade as well. So as simple as that, guys. Again, I went through the learning curve. Basically took me at least, the last 5 years for me to go in and to really analyze this market. I went through the learning curve. I went through the losses. I went through the bad days. And with what I have here today, guys, this is going to cut your learning curve by about 90%. You won't have to go through those bad days at all. The tool I have here, I would say it's at least a 95, 99% accurate, right, guys? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Guys, so right now I'm on this chart. This is called TradingView.com. It's basically a place that you go to do your analysis so that you can see, where the market is going, right? So again, guys, you don't have to know everything, but I'm going to show you exactly how this tool works. One of the things we're going to look at is NASDAQ. All right, we just talked about NASDAQ, so we're going to actually open up the NASDAQ chart. We're going to let it load, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how simple it is, how you can get into these trades each and every single day, and how you can know what you're doing, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to actually Friday, May 23rd, and we're going to pull the chart backward and look at, let's look at 9:30, guys. All right, so here we are. We're looking at a 9:30 candle. The red candles is when the market's going down, again, and the green candles is when the market's going up. So let's talk about what we're looking at, right? So for one, these lines that you see here are different tools or indicators that we have plugged in. These are important, they're important to look at. They're not 1,000% everything. The most important tool here that you're going to need to look at is this orange and yellow line and this blue line. All right, so these are the most important things that you should be looking at. All right, so let's start off with this, right? So at 9:15, we can see that the market was pushing up. And I'm going to try to drag my chart down some more. And then, of course, at 9:30, we can see we had a big push of volume. How do we know that? You guys can see it right here. There's a big green, push of volume at the very bottom of the chart. So what you would do is you would go over here to your left side. You would grab your Fibonacci tool. You would, basically drag it from the very, very tip of that spike to the very, very top of that spike. So you see the bottom, you see the top. right? That's what you guys would be doing. Next, I'm going to zoom in and we're going to wait for an entry, right? But before we start looking at an entry, it's already 9:30. I can see a couple things going on here. Number one, I can see this blue line is pointing in an upward direction, which basically means we are in a bought. Okay, we're in an overbought. Okay, guys, and so typically on a normal day, when that blue line is pointing up like that, it means that the market could be going down, but that is the case, guys. What I have built here is a customized tool that will completely work in the opposite direction of NASDAQ. So if you see that it's pointing upward, it means that the market is going to go up. Okay, if this orange and this yellow line decides to cross over and head downward, it means that we are going to go up. Okay, so again, this tool works in the opposite direction of what it typically does. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's happening, because this is a custom RSI and a custom stochastic tool that's built for NASDAQ, and also it's built for other charts like S&P, gold, Dow Jones, things like that. So as you guys can see, we started to pull downward. You can also see that the yellow and the orange line have officially crossed over. At this point, we should be looking for a buy entry. Now, what is a buy? A buy means we want to make sure we get in when the market is pushing up. Now, where do we get in at, guys? Where do we get in? We don't get in right now because the market has not broke these two candles. Now, some of you are probably saying to yourself, what do you mean broke? Right? So I'm actually going to show you guys what I mean by that. And again, guys, you're getting free training right now from me. Right? Typically, I don't do this. But this is the body of the candle. All right? And then we have what's called the wick, which is the part that's spiking. So you got the body and you have your wick. Right? So that was the first candle. Let's just say it was that one. And then we had a second candle, which was this one, which created a body. Right? Created a body. And also, had a wick, right? So we got our wick there. We have our, and it also created a little wick up here as well, right? So where are we actually get into this trade at, right? So here's the thing, guys. We don't want to get in to this candle. We want to wait until the market comes up here and breaks above this zone. All right. So I'm going to color this zone. Let's see what I can do. I could color it yellow. Uh-oh. Undo. I want to color inside of it yellow. All right, guys, so we are going to wait for the market to push up here, across this yellow line that I made. And you guys are probably saying to yourself, well, how am I going to know that? Well, you need to be patient, right? So you need to wait for the candle to break out. That's what we call a breakout. And push above that area, right? So let's see what happens next. We can see we're opening up even wider, and boom, we push out and we break above that level. So as you guys can see, it's the same thing we're talking about, right? It's the same thing we're talking about. So again, this is where you would enter this trade, right? Because again, we just confirmed that we want to wait for price to break above these two candles here. And if you look, you can see that the yellow and orange crossed over, the blue line started pointing down, and we broke above the previous two candles, right? So this is where you would enter the trade. Now, if you look over here, you can see this says 326. That is the amount of points that you would have gotten on a trade like this. Now, you're probably wondering, what is 326 points? How does that even calculate to money? So I'm going to show you that next. So 326 point on NASDAQ, you're getting paid $5 per point, guys. So even if I pull up a calculator now and you put $5 times 326 points, With a move like that, you would have made $1,630, guys. So literally, that move took 15 minutes. $1,630 is what you would have made if you were trading just a regular NASDAQ, right? Because this is NASDAQ. This is NQ, right, which is E-mini. But there's also something called MNQ, which is something you guys are going to learn, right? And I'll pull it up right here. So MNQ, all you would do is go in here and you will change your symbol to MNQ, which is the micro, right? So we have micro and then we have E-mini, right? So let's go back to what we were reading just now. As you guys can see, you know, regular NASDAQ, the regular one pays $5, right? And then you have micro, right? So micro is 0.50, which is 50 cents per point, right? So again, if you had 326 points, you would multiply that by 50 cents if you were doing the micro. So you would have made $163 if you were doing micro, which is the MNQ. Now, if you were doing just a regular NQ, you would have made $1,600, right? So that's how quickly you make money, guys. Trading futures is the best thing you can do. It takes literally 15 minutes or less, guys, per day. You know, we look at news, we look at volume, we look at the time of the day. We also use this trading tool. That's the best thing that you guys have access to, right? And you know, you literally could be making 200 or more per day, right? So, you know, if you're someone that's, you know, looking to learn a new skill, again, you want to start making money from home, you know, you want to replace your, you know, your income, then you can get started. Now, how do you actually start making money? Well, you would actually open up something called NinjaTrader, which I'll show you guys right now what that is. But again, it's, you know, they're one of the top brokers right now when it comes to trading futures. You can go on their website, ninjatrader.com, open up a free account. You can even open up a demo account if you want. All right, so guys, this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to come in here and trade with your NinjaTrader account, right? We're going to connect it to your TradingView account, and you guys are going to be able to go in here and make money, right? So it's as simple as that. And again, this is not as hard as it seems. I am going to literally cut your learning curve by at least 90%. You're not going to go through, again, the learning curve that I went through. You're going to be able to jump right in within 2 weeks or less and start making money and start growing your money. All right, guys. So again, this is not a business opportunity. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you any investment, you know, advice. All I'm doing is I'm giving you access to my education. I'm giving you access to my trading tool. You take it, you watch the training, you get plugged in, and you start making money. All right, guys. So again, I have limited seating in my next training, limited seating in my self-paced training. Get in touch with me. You know, send me a text, send me an email. I'll reach back out to you, and I look forward to seeing you guys. And if you want to see the full video, please go on to laurateachfx.com. Watch the full video on how this tool works. All right, guys. So, you know, I have several packages that I offer here. You know, number one, you can get access to the tool for $199. That's going to cover you for the entire year, so you can get plugged in. So if you're someone with a little bit of experience, you know, you've traded before but you weren't successful, this is probably the best option for you. It's not going to include my self-paced course, but it is going to include the tool. You're going to be able to get into this tool, plug it into your charts, and start making money right away. Okay. The second option is a self-paced course. This is going to give you access to my course. Okay, guys, you're going to get access to my self-paced course. You can watch the videos at any time, you know, and you can plug in and start getting, you know, get your charts set up, you know, get your tool plugged in and start making money within 2 weeks or less. The next option is to do one-on-one virtual training with me. This is a 2-week virtual training again. It's $4.99. Okay, this is where you get that hands-on training where you can ask me unlimited questions, where we meet up at least once or twice a week. And we sit down, we talk for 45 to an hour, depending on how quick, you're learning. If you're someone that's a slower pace, that's fine. I don't have like a super set time. The last thing is my in-person training, guys. This is where I do a 3-day boot camp seminar. Okay, if you're interested in coming to my seminar, you're going to get that hands-on training. You're going to be able to attend any events that I have, guys. This is a $4,999 plan, right? So if you're watching this video right now, okay, you can actually visit my site at laurateachfx.com. If you're someone that wants to do the in-person training, you would come onto my website, guys. You would book your call with me. You would set up that one-on-one call with me, and I can get you a seat in my next 3-day boot camp, guys. Again, this is limited seating. It's a 3-day boot camp, guys. You get 24 support. You get access to my trading tool. You get to actually sit down with me, have that hands-on training with me, guys. You can come on the website and actually get the full video of this tool and get plugged in, and again, pick what works for you, right? It's not for everybody. So again, if you're someone that has experience, you don't need to book a call. All you need to do is text that number, the phone number that you've seen on the YouTube video channel. Text that number. Let me know, you want to get access to the tool. I'll get you plugged in. We'll hop on a quick call. I'll get you plugged in. I'll get this added to your TradingView chart. And then, of course, if you're someone that wants to do the virtual training, we can do the virtual training as well. I'll get you plugged into the virtual training as well, or the self-paced training. So again, I'm going to wrap up this video. Again, this is not for everybody, guys, right? Some people rather work harder than smarter, but I will tell you something. This can truly make a difference, right? So if you're someone that's looking to grow your funds, you're looking to make money daily, you're looking for a side hustle, you're looking for a side income, you're looking to replace that 9 to 5, this is the best option for you. You got to make the sacrifice. The best thing you can do right now is invest in your education. Learn a new skill, guys. Okay, it doesn't take long, and again, this can really make a difference for you.